Hello! Welcome to my channel, English Taught Right. My name is Shay, and I'm an ESL instructor in Portland, Oregon. Today, we're going to do a vocabulary exercise for intermediate to advanced English speakers. Specifically, we're going to do a picture description, where we use our English to describe our man here on the right in very great detail. So what I would like you to do is using your English words, use these 14 criteria listed here on the left to describe this man. So, using your English, how would you describe the location or the general description? What would you have to say about his skin complexion or his hair or his forehead? What about his eyes? Or his glasses, or his nose? What adjectives can you use to describe his beard, or his cheek, or his mouth? What about his teeth? And lastly, how would you describe his jawline? So what I would like you to do now is pause the video here and write out your answers in the comments. And then in the next slide, we shall continue together. Welcome back. Hopefully, you've got a lot of good details in your description. Now, let's go through this together. So first thing I'll mention is that we're in a general office type setting. A black office chair is in the background. It looks like this could be a conference table where they have regular meetings too. Another detail you can add, if you have sharp eyes or good eyesight, you may have noticed or said that this office has cathedral ceilings. So, looking up here, you see how the ceilings rise to a point? This is referred to as a cathedral ceiling. Now in this example, it's kind of tough to see, so I'll show you a more obvious one. So here, this bedroom also has cathedral ceilings. You see how the ceiling here rises to a point right here. So this bedroom has cathedral ceilings, and if you were sharp-eyed, you might have noticed that this office does too. What about the color? So almost everything in this office I would describe as snow white, like the princess. So looking here and here, these are called beams. So looking at these beams, they're snow white. The walls are snow white. Even the blinds here are snow white. So snow white is the decorative theme of this room. Looking over here, you can see another example of snow white. So this is pure white, or 100% white, versus snow white. And if you look closely, you'll see there is a very slight difference. So snow white is almost pure white. Another couple of details you can add to our description is that in the background there are picture windows, and these windows are covered by vertical blinds. So a picture window. These are called picture windows because of their size. So here's one, and then here's another picture window over here. So any kind of a big window like this you can refer to as a picture window. Another example would be right here. So notice how the outside looks like or is framed like it is in a picture, hence the term picture window. Now, these picture windows are covered by vertical blinds, and blinds are these things right here. Blinds can either be horizontal blinds that go this way or vertical blinds that hang down. So for another example of vertical blinds, we look over here. So vertical versus horizontal blinds. Next, let's talk about his general description. So here we have a man in his early to mid 30s, or you could say 30 to 35 years old, or 30 to 35 years of age. He is hammering away or typing excitedly on an aluminum colored laptop. So hammering away. He's really excited about something. And then anything that is this color here, you can refer to as being aluminum colored because it looks like the metal aluminum, or aluminium if you're British. Another thing you could say is that he is wearing a baby blue or light blue long-sleeved button-up shirt. So baby blue just means to be light blue. It's long-sleeved because here are his sleeves. A t-shirt, the sleeves only go to here, but these sleeves are long. And then a button-up shirt. Here are his buttons, hence the term a button-up shirt. So a baby blue, long-sleeved, button-up shirt. Did you use any adjectives to describe his skin? So one thing we could say about his skin is that he has fair skin or light skin. However, he has a little bit of a suntan here. So you see how his skin is a little bit brown? He probably got that from being outside. Looking at this girl right over here, you see that she has a very deep suntan. So a deep suntan versus a light one right there. What about his skin complexion? So I would describe his complexion as smooth and even. So it's smooth, there's not any bumps or wrinkles, and even just means that his skin is roughly the same color. So here, his forehead is all the same color. His forehead is close to the same color as his cheek, which is as close to the same color as his nose. So he has an even skin complexion versus an uneven one. For another example, this is even. So here we have the same color as here and here versus uneven. Different colors here and here versus here, for example. How did you describe his hair? So you could say he has short or close cropped hair that is swept forward. So his hair, at least back here, moves forward towards his face. And so you call that a forward sweep, or his hair is swept forward. As another example could be this. Here, his hair is swept backwards or towards the back of his hair. It's swept sideways and then backwards. This man here has what's called a fade, and that means his hair gets shorter as it gets closer to his ear, or his hair starts to fade away. I mentioned that detail because looking over here, he's got kind of a fade too. His hair is longer on top and then fades away a little bit as it gets to his ear. Now, he might need a haircut, and so when he gets his haircut again, his fade might be more obvious. But in this picture, he's got a little bit of a baby fade. Another way you can describe his hair is that he has a business cut, or this would be a hairstyle that is suitable in most business type of situations. So looking over here, we see other kinds of business cuts for men and women. Do you have a business cut? Did you have anything to say about his forehead? I would describe his forehead as being round. So his forehead starts here and it goes out higher than this point and then starts to go back or starts to recede. So this is a round forehead. Now, for an example of a flat forehead, we look at this. So here is where it starts. This is the high point or the highest point of his forehead. And you see it goes back. It gets lower as we go along here. So a flat forehead versus a rounded one. Although we can't see his eyes, like we can't see his pupils or irises or the whites of his eyes, but we can see around his eyes. And one thing I would say about his eyes is that he has crow's feet. And crow's feet is this. So these are wrinkles around the eyes. You can also call these smile lines because when you smile, crow's feet become more visible. Here is another example of crow's feet. This is mega crow's feet. So this is a lot of crow's feet. So crow's feet or smile lines. What about his glasses? So his glasses have thick lenses. So the glass part is called the lens. And then the lens is surrounded by the rim. So he has thick lenses, meaning they're thick this way. And then he also has thick rims because his rims are thick this way. These are often referred to as nerd glasses or geek glasses. So for another example of nerd glasses, we look here. So thick black rims, thick lenses, always black, nerd glasses. So you could describe his nose as being tall with a rounded bridge. So first, his nose is tall. Here is his cheekbone, and his nose rises a good deal off of his cheekbone. So he's got a nice tall nose. Now his bridge goes from here to the tip here. So here's the tip of his nose, and then here's the end of his nose, and here's the bridge. And since the bridge extends higher than the tip, you can call this a rounded bridge. So he's got a tall nose with a rounded bridge, or this type of nose with a rounded bridge can also be referred to as a Roman nose. Now his nostrils, I would say, are long and thin. So here are his nostrils, or here is his nostril. So it's long this way, and people who have a tall nose tend to have long nostrils. So he's got long nostrils that are thin, so they're not very wide this way. Conversely, these nostrils are short, so they're not very long here, and these are round, so short round nostrils versus long thin ones. A beard is the hair that covered his face. So since he has hair all over his face, this can be referred to as a full beard. So a full beard goes all the way down here, covers his chin, covers his upper lip, and then goes back on the other side. So he has a full beard. But I would say his beard is thin. You can see a lot of skin here, right? His hair isn't particularly thick. So even though he has a full beard, I would say it's thin. So a thin, full beard. Another adjective you could use to describe his beard is that it has stubble or is stubbly. And stubble are these short hairs here that you get when you don't shave for a few days. Women can have stubble on their legs. Men have stubble on their faces. For another example of stubble, look at this man. So he has a stubbly full beard too. I would say his beard is thick though, where the other man's beard is thin. See all this hair that he has here? So he has a thick, full beard made of stubble. Sometimes this type of beard is referred to as a 5-day beard, because most men can grow a beard like this in 5 days.
Or at least the manly ones can.
Okay, so let's talk about his cheek. So here's his crow's feet, and his cheek is going to start right about here. There is one interesting feature about his cheek, and that's this right here. So you see where his cheek is indented? This is called a dimple. So for another example of a dimple, we'll look at her. So her dimple is very deep. It goes into her cheek a long ways. His dimple, on the other hand, is very shallow. It doesn't go in that deep. So he's got a shallow dimple versus a deep one. Now, let's talk about his mouth. He has a wide mouth with a thin upper lip and a more full lower lip. So his mouth is wide from here to here and back, And then his upper lip is very thin. There's almost no lip here at all. Versus his lower lip, which you see here, is more full. But his upper lip is almost non-existent, or not even there. Did you say anything about his teeth? So he has eggshell white teeth, or very white teeth. His teeth are straight and even. So eggshell white, we talked about pure white earlier. His teeth aren't pure white, but roughly the color of an eggshell, like this. So look at that, eggshell white, hence an eggshell, and then also his teeth. So not quite perfect white, but still very white. His teeth are closely spaced. So you see one tooth is right next to the other one, which is right next to the other one. They're closely spaced together. Did you use any adjectives to describe his chin? So he has a short, pointed chin. So his chin is short from here to here. There's not much space under his lower lip versus a long chin. So here's the lower lip. Here's a big space right here. Here's her chin. Her chin is long versus his chin, which is a little bit shorter. Did you say anything about his jawline? So I would say his jawline is strong, but his beard enhances his jawline or his neckline. So his jawline starts right here where his ear is, follows his jawbone all the way to the tip of his chin here. And so his jawline looks pretty strong. You can clearly see where his face starts and where his neck ends. If his jawline was not strong, the skin would hang down more right here, like this. So here is the tip of the chin, and you see how the skin hangs down versus this. This is a strong jawline. You can clearly see where the face and neck are. Here, it's a little bit harder to tell. So his jawline, and with the help of his beard for sure, definitely looks pretty strong. Hoo-wee! That was a lot of words. Almost done here, guys. So in conclusion, here is a paragraph we could write about this picture. We have a fair-skinned man in his early to mid-30s working in a snow-white office. Behind him are picture windows with vertical blinds. He is hammering away on an aluminum-colored laptop computer, and his shirt is a baby blue button-up. He has close-cropped natural black hair and a round forehead. He is wearing geek glasses and has crow's feet next to his eyes. He has a Roman nose and a stubbly beard. His chin is short and his teeth are closely spaced, eggshell white, and straight. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. There's going to be more content coming soon. All right, that's about it. Keep up the good work, and may the Force be with you. Ciao!